President. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Welcome today. Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, Mr. President. Very good to see you again.
Pleasure to meet you.
Very much.
Thank you very much. Please.
Mr. President, how are you?
How are you?
I'm fresh and ready to be in your...
Excellent. Welcome. Great pleasure to receive you here tonight. Thank you for participating. This is important for us.
Honored to be here. We got lots of things to do together.
And we will.
Indeed.
Excellent.
I was talking to Darren Wood, the head of ExxonMobil, this last week. I told him I was coming, so I would pass my best regards on to you. So we have an opportunity to discuss some of their opportunities.
We will.
Yes, sir.
We have a meeting later this day.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good on you.
Welcome.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for being
Welcome.
here. welcome. Very good to see you. It's a pleasure to receive you. Okay, wonderful. First time. Okay, so it better be good.
Enjoying, yes.
Excellent. Please. Mr. Speaker. Morning. Welcome back. Excellent. How are you? Thank you. Let's take one more picture. Stay this way. We change sides.
My friend.
So nice. Welcome. It's my pleasure to receive you here. Everything okay?
Oh, yeah. It was absolutely no problem.
Very good.
Sooner.
See Bucuresti over here.
Seeing some places 2 or 3 times.
But the weather is nice. Even
Oh,
up there.
okay, see you soon.
See you. Mr. President, gentlemen, welcome back to the Morgan. It's welcome this way, please.
this way.
Today, this way. Good morning, Mr. President. How are you? Welcome back. Very good. How are you? That's fine.
Sorry, I had a the conference earlier before you gave the floor and all this stuff. Okay.
Saying anything? Still.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, madam. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, we will prepare you. Welcome. Please.
President, good morning.
Welcome back, Mr.
To be back.
Everything okay so far? Okay. Thank you. Please.
Morning. How are you?
Welcome back. Yeah. I wish you.
I hope we all have a very successful day.
We will. Thank you.
schön siehst du aus. Richtig.
Ach, ein neues Foto.
Ja.
Mit dem Handshake.
Ja, okay.
Ausgezeichnet.
Wunderbar.
Herzlich willkommen.
So.
Ich nehme die mal. Smart piece.
Ja.
Why? Why not? Thank you so much. I invite you to take our seats and start the summit.
No, no, no. Stay inside. No, others.
So, Good morning, dear colleagues, dear friends, dear guests, distinguished audience. I am truly honored to welcome you all here in Bucharest at the third summit of the Three Seas initiative. In Warsaw last summer, I took the commitment to host the initiative and its business forum in 2018. I firmly believe this initiative builds on a real need of the 12 participating states to seek real convergence of their economies with the western part of the European Union. Today, I stress again that the Three Seas initiative can be a very useful tool for the development and modernization of our economies. Interconnectivity shapes the world and transforms geography and politics. In the preparation of the Bucharest Summit, we have reached a common understanding on the main objectives of the initiative, which are pro-economic development in the region, pro-European Union, and pro-transatlantic ties. First, it is time for the area between the Baltic, Black, and Adriatic Seas to put interconnectivity, especially on the north-south axis, but not only, on its highest agenda. This will respond to the real need of the participating countries to bridge the development gap with the rest of the European Union member states. It will also respond to expectations and demands of our citizens to live in a more prosperous, secure, and cohesive European Union. Within this initiative, we have decided to prioritize the fields of transport, energy, and digital market. We were right, because as the selected concrete projects show, this is where the biggest potential to facilitate higher interconnectivity lies. Progress in these fields can really boost economic and trade relations, as well as increase investment flows in the region. I believe that it is a potential that we can and should fully exploit in close cooperation, of course, with partners from the Euro-Atlantic community and with the European and international financial institutions. Second, enhanced regional interconnectivity and economic convergence will contribute to an increased European Union cohesion and coherence. The Three Seas initiative can strengthen the overall economic development and consolidation of the European Union at a time when we are preparing for important decisions about the future of the Union. Romania's approach to the Three Seas initiative derives from our firm commitment to a strong, cohesive, and united European Union that delivers tangible benefits to its citizens. It is also part of our constant efforts to bridge artificial divisions on the European continent or between the shores of the Atlantic. Third, the initiative is a regional European contribution to the strengthening of the transatlantic ties. An increased US economic implication in the region would be a natural extension of its security presence and would provide the catalyst for strengthened cooperation in the region and as part of the transatlantic partnership. For we strongly believe that in such a challenging global context, we need the European Union and the United States of America to stay as close together as possible, politically, economically, and in the security field. Despite the differences on some issues, the undeniable truth is that the transatlantic link is based, above all, on common values, which are the strongest possible foundation for our relationship, and that our common interests rise above our differences. Ladies and gentlemen, in preparing this year's Summit and Business Forum, we have all agreed to take a pragmatic, result-oriented approach and have a strong focus on deliverables. Allow me to highlight these achievements. At the end of this meeting, I would like all of us to confirm our support for a regional list of major interconnectivity projects in the fields of transportation, energy, and digital market that will allow us to mobilize the political will, resources, and investment needed for the project's implementation. Yesterday, together with some of you and alongside more than 600 participants from the business community and officials of our region and beyond, I had the privilege to open the first edition of the 3Cs Initiative Business Forum. The main focus of the forum is to stimulate the private sector, supporting for stimulating business and investment, for the implementation of the 3Cs Initiative projects, and for high potential drivers of growth and innovation. It is an achievement of the Business Forum to be able to connect the businesses from the 3Cs Initiative region, and not only the relevant officials and the financial institutions, thereby stimulating new contacts, ideas, and projects. I hope that we can agree today to make it a regular event, preferably on an annual basis. Yesterday, we have also witnessed the signing of the joint statement for the creation of the network of chambers of commerce of the 3Cs Initiative, with the objective to support the activities of the Business Forum and facilitate regular contacts between the business communities in the region. During the opening of the Business Forum, we have seen the signing of a letter of intent in relation to the establishment of the 3Cs Initiative Investment Fund, aimed at co-financing the projects supported by the initiative. At the end of this meeting, we will also welcome the launch of a website dedicated to the 3Cs Initiative. I welcome the involvement, support, and interest from partner states and institutions, namely the governments of the United States of America and, starting off today, Germany, the European Commission, the European Investment Bank, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and the World Bank Group, and I propose to agree to continue to invite them and other interested actors, pending the consensual decision of the participating states, to the future summits, as well as to the future editions of the 3Cs Initiative Business Forum. At the same time, we cannot overlook the initiative's potential to contribute to the development of neighboring countries from the Western Balkans and the Eastern Partnership. By the means of interconnectivity among our countries, we can all benefit from desired prosperity, sustainable development, and stability. I invite you to further discuss their role in connection with the 3Cs initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, taking all these into account, I do hope that the summit will be able to ensure that our initiative reaches its full potential, which is to facilitate the economic development of the region, the cohesion and convergence of the European Union, and the strengthening of the transatlantic link. I would now like to invite you to take the floor, and I invite the President of the European Commission, Mr. Jean-Claude Juncker, who is our guest of honor, to take the floor. Jean-Claude, you have the floor.
Yeah, vielen Dank, Klaus. It's my particular pleasure to be here today. We missed the occasion to respond positively to the invitation of the President of Croatia, Kolina, 2 years ago, and then to the invitation of the Polish government 1 year ago. But we are here today because we do think that what you are doing, what you are undertaking, is completing the work which the European Union as such is trying to do. I'm particularly happy to see the presence of Secretary Rick Perry. Welcome here. Your place is here because this is not something being directed against the European Union, but it's adding to our efforts to make sure that the interconnectivity in this part of Europe is developing in the right direction. Und ich bin auch froh, den deutschen Außenminister hier begrüßen zu dürfen. Ich finde es sehr gut, dass du hier bist und dass Deutschland sich jetzt auch dieser Initiative anschließt. English is not the only official language of the European Union, so I will express myself for the next coming minutes in French, which is a big, great, influent language and culture in the European Union, and we should not forget that we are not under the rule of the only lingua franca, which is English, but French is as important as English is, and German is as important as French is, so we should try to use the 3 official languages of the European Union, not adding to them Luxembourgish, which is spoken by an active minority in Europe, in the home part of Romania, of Klaus, and in my country, but nobody knows that this is a leading international language, but time will come where this will be recognized by each and everyone. Mes chers amis, j'ai toujours pensé que l'Europe, comment dire, devrait respirer avec ses 2 poumons, l'Est et l'Ouest. Si elle ne fait pas ça, elle perd son souffle. Parfois, j'ai l'impression qu'elle est en train de perdre son souffle, et donc il faudra qu'entre Européens, nous nous mettions d'accord sur les vertus de la coopération renforcée, si j'ose dire, non pas au sens du traité, mais au sens de la langue commune entre l'Est et l'Ouest. Donc, je voulais, Monsieur le Président, apporter tout le soutien de la Commission européenne à l'initiative qui est la vôtre, et je voudrais vous encourager à ouvrir de nouveaux corridors d'union entre les 2 parties de l'Europe, non seulement entre le Sud et le Nord, mais aussi entre l'Est et l'Ouest, pour que nous puissions inventer, poursuivre, accomplir, parachever un projet qui parle à tous les Européens, indépendamment du lieu où ils vivent. La connectivité en Europe est importante et nous devons conjuguer les efforts qui sont les vôtres avec les moyens budgétaires qui sont ceux de l'Europe et plus particulièrement de la Commission européenne. Ainsi, je voudrais que très rapidement, nous puissions faire en sorte que nous puissions voyager plus facilement entre les 2 parties de l'Europe. En fait, je n'aime pas trop l'expression entre les 2 parties de l'Europe, pour que nous puissions voyager sans entrave en Europe. Et donc, j'appuie des 2 mains le projet Rail Baltica entre la Pologne et la Lituanie, qui est financé par le mécanisme pour l'interconnexion en Europe. Et je voudrais remercier Dalia, qui a, jeté tout son poids dans la réalisation de ce projet qui, à mes yeux, est important et qui a valeur de modèle et d'exemple. Il faut développer, comme je le disais, les connexions à haut débit en Europe, raison pour laquelle, sur les quelques 150 milliards d'euros investis dans les régions des trois pays, des trois mers, et qui proviennent tous du Fonds régional et du Fonds de cohésion, ce dont la commissaire roumaine Corina Criciu a la responsabilité, j'en remerciais. Sur ces 150 milliards, un tiers est destiné aux projets de connectivité, dont 2,5 milliards plus particulièrement pour développer des infrastructures numériques à haut débit, notamment dans vos zones rurales. La même remarque s'applique à l'approvisionnement en énergie et plus particulièrement à gaz et à de meilleurs approvisionnements qui doit pouvoir être fait à de meilleurs prix. Et tout cela sera réalisé lorsque nous réaliserons le gazoduc Bucuresti reliant l'Autriche, la Bulgarie, la Hongrie et la Roumanie, qui est financé par les fonds européens d'investissement stratégique, ce qu'à l'époque on appela le plan Juncker. On parle très peu du plan Juncker puisqu'il fonctionne. Lorsqu'on pensait que le plan d'investissement ne fonctionnerait pas, on a dit voilà, c'est le plan Juncker, parce qu'on voulait pré-identifier les responsables de l'échec. Maintenant que ça fonctionne, ça ne s'appelle plus le plan Juncker, mais le Fonds européen d'investissement stratégique, mais c'est exactement la même chose. Donc, nous voulons mettre à disposition de vos ambitions tous les moyens financiers généralement quelconques dont peut disposer l'Europe et l'Union européenne. Et donc, la Commission, je ne voudrais pas conclure sans rappeler que pour nous, Commission, et pour nous, Union européenne, dans sa large majorité, l'application de la règle de droit garde toute son importance. Sans appliquer la règle de droit, les investissements n'ont aucun sens parce que ceux qui veulent pouvoir investir en Europe, de très peu, fast to das. Non. Lorsqu'on parle de la règle de droit, il y a toujours des mouvements divers dans la salle. Enfin, respecter la règle de droit, c'était mon message.
Merci beaucoup, Jean-Claude. I now invite Her Excellency, Mrs. Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic, President of the Republic of Croatia, to take the floor. Kolinda, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, President Iohannis, dear Klaus. Distinguished colleagues, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning to you all, and let me use this opportunity to express my appreciation to our Romanian hosts, headed by President Iohannis and his team, for their warm hospitality and the wonderful organization of this summit. We're honored to have the European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker, a dear friend, the United States Secretary of Energy, Rick Perry, as well as our new partner state, Germany, represented by Foreign Minister Heiko Maas, with us this year. Your attendance today gives us confidence that our objectives have been understood and that the enormous potential of the initiative is becoming widely recognized. Since not everybody who's around this table was at the business forum yesterday, let me just underline a couple of things that I said yesterday. First and foremost, when we put it into the geopolitical context, the ultimate aim of this initiative is to make Central Europe the backbone of European and transatlantic resilience. And that is based on the three main goal pillars. The first is economic convergence between what is still unfortunately known today, the old Europe and the new Europe, or the East or the West of Europe. Secondly is cohesion within our own area and with the rest of the European Union. And thirdly, it's strengthening the transatlantic links. And we intend to do that on the project pillars that pertain to the areas of transportation, energy, especially energy security, which is of utmost importance for political stability as well, and digitalization, which I believe is one of the preconditions for the development of our region, especially for us to keep our young people in our own countries. I would also like to underline that there, for me, when we started about thinking of the Three Seas Initiative, so connecting the Baltic, the Adriatic, and the Black Seas, if you look at the homophone of the letter C's, the three C's, there are these underlying principles of cohesion, connectivity, and competitiveness of our industries that is at the basis of what we do and at the implementation of the projects that we have prepared. I've mentioned the differences between still two parts of Europe that are visible, not only in infrastructure, but in the standards of living, in opportunities, and I would even say sort of in the mentality of Europe, that we need to erase these differences and bring about more cohesion. And yesterday, when talking about uneven development and underdevelopment of the European Union, I pointed to a couple of very illustrative facts, and that is some of the key economic indicators that exemplify these differences. For instance, in 2017, the GDP per capita ranged in the European Union for 49% of the EU average in one of the member states of the Three Seas Initiative to 253% of the EU average in Luxembourg, Jean-Claude. That is even more visible if we look at the regions. In 2016, the regional GDP per capita ranged from 29% in one of the poorest regions of the European Union, which again is situated in one of the countries of the Three Seas Initiative, to 611% in comparison to the inner London West region. So this clearly illustrates that we need to work on this cohesion and connectivity. The third summit of the Three Seas Initiative clearly illustrates the joint success that we have achieved so far in promoting the initiative and promoting what we're doing, the very specific projects. And I'm very pleased to see an incremental implementation of the goals that we have set for the initiative from the beginning. By responding to contemporary challenges and bringing affirmative changes that will contribute to the European Union and the Euro-Atlantic community, the third summit of the initiative reflects our determination to achieve an economically integrated European Union and thereby become a stronger transatlantic partner. Substantial projects such as energy supply corridors and communications infrastructure, as well as modernization of our economies through an extension of transportation links, will allow for the full integration of Central Europe with the remainder of our continent. It will erase the artificial but still lingering divisions, and it will most definitely contribute to a higher level of prosperity of Europe as a whole. Therefore, we need a powerful set of economic arteries, including energy pipelines, power lines, highways, railways, and telecommunication links, which will create a firm foundation for building stronger cohesion. We can truly unlock the potential of our joint economic and infrastructure cooperation, and this will deliver a Europe that is resilient, prosperous, and sustainable, and without different classes of EU membership. Having that in mind, yesterday we successfully launched the first edition of the Three Seas Initiative Business Forum on the margins of our summit, and our chambers of economy or commerce created their own Three Seas Initiative networks, building upon the initial steps taken in Dubrovnik in 2016. The forum will represent a gateway for our businesses to global markets, paving the way for possible partnerships. And with a goal to attract proactive engagement of the business community for innovations and investment, it will provide an opportunity for interested companies to have dedicated business-to-business discussions. Last year in Warsaw, we presented a catalog with more than 150 projects. Their total value exceeded 45 billion euro. With an intention to link high-level political investment to concrete deliverables to achieve greater interconnectivity in the region and with the rest of Europe. This year, we have created together a short list of regional interconnection priority projects of mutual interest in the sectors of energy, transportation, and digitalization. Substantial resources will be required for their implementation. And in that view, we welcome the initiative of the 3Cs Initiative Investment Fund, which will complement other resources, EU funds in particular. Croatia is offering a number of projects that are conducive to our key geographical location between the Mediterranean and Central Europe, such as the construction of the Ionian Adriatic gas pipeline, as well as the construction of an LNG terminal in Krk that should be connected to similar terminals on the north-south corridor and provide us with much-needed diversification of energy supply routes and sources. By building a network of close partnerships, Croatia understands how crucial it is to always aim for strengthening the ties binding the EU member states and protecting the principles which allow Europe's countries and peoples to exist as they are. Respecting our national specifics and interests, only together can we preserve the values that the European Union has cherished for decades. Today, we're sending a clear signal that we're on the right path to increase convergence among EU member states, to contribute to enhanced unity, to use our enormous potential for growth and prosperity and become a true backbone of European resilience, and to further strengthen our transatlantic bond. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Kolinda, for your valuable initiative and contribution. I now invite His Excellency, Mr. Mateusz Morawiecki, Prime Minister of the Republic of Poland, to take the floor. Mateusz, you have the floor.
Thank you, Klaus, and esteemed presidents and prime ministers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really grateful for your invitation for this summit. This gives me a great opportunity to stress the meaning of the 3Cs initiative and the importance of projects we are endorsing. The 3Cs initiative is an initiative which makes history. The European Union cannot be complete without dismantling the economic heritage of Yalta. Our initiative's aim is to build bridges across Europe, not only in the realm of infrastructure, but also in the world of our joint European imagination. Jean-Claude spoke about two lungs. These are words of John Paul II, who always emphasized the deep division between the East and the West is not serving the whole continent and transatlantic community. So we really have to focus how to overcome all this bad legacy. My message today is we should not ask what Europe can do for you, but as Kennedy said, what we can do for Europe. And I believe that this 3Cs initiative is what really what Central Europe can do, very positive things for the whole of the European Union. We should never forget that the European project was also created with the help of the United States of America, and the support of the White House for this initiative continues the finest tradition of the US foreign policy. Today, we are redrawing the European map, showing that the countries of the CEE, Central Eastern Europe, can and want to contribute to the European project by strengthening its economic foundations. We have already spoken about the growing economic potential of our region, so let's make the figures speak. The 3Cs members constitute 1/3 of the total area of the EU and are inhabited by over 15 million people. The average GDP growth for this area reaches 4%, in my country 5%. So we really have a lot to offer to the European Union. Vibrant economies, talented people, disciplined workers, and what we need is really to build this north-south infrastructure. So today we work in detail on priority areas like energy, transport, and digitalization. These are crucial for the growth of our markets and societies in the future. Let me shortly touch upon our priorities. In the area of energy, In particular, today, the main supply routes in our region run from east to west, to the west. And we should aim at changing the paradigm by developing north, south, and diagonal connections. Geography is not destiny, but it can be an opportunity. In the recent years, the Three Seas region has been significantly developing its energy infrastructure, interconnectors, allowing for bidirectional gas transfers, increased storage capacities, new LNG terminals in the region, like in Świnoujście or in Klaipėda in Lithuania, or Kirk in Croatia. We developed the north-south gas corridor, which will enable the unrestricted flow of LNG between the Baltic and Adriatic, as well as the Black Seas seaports. We already discussed with Romania how to increase exports of gas from Romania as well, and imports from the United States in terms of the shale gas. In this particular area, the strengthening of monopolization by Gazprom and the new Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline between Russia and Germany is not helpful, to say the least. It is not only about business of transmission. We need all those cross-border connections to increase our energy security, to find and use new gas supplies. The countries of the Three Seas import over 40 million cubic meters of natural gas per year, and it will most probably increase. We all agree about the need to create a free gas market in the region. What we need is independent energy transfer system based on security and economic criteria. As far as transport goes, interconnectivity has a growing significance for the global economy. In the area between the Baltic, Adriatic, and Black Seas, there are altogether over 150 infrastructural projects, either currently being implemented or planned for the nearest future, and 67 out of them are transport projects. This potential has already been recognized by the European Union. 5 out of 9 transport corridors in the EU priority Trans-European transport networks are located in the Three Seas region. This is the essence of the EU's cohesion policy. So thank you very much for Jean-Claude for understanding of those priorities. And we believe that for the next budgetary perspective, this dimension should be re-emphasized as well. Just as an example, we built Via Carpathia, which goes from the Baltic Seas, from Lithuania, eastern part of Poland, down through Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and to Greece, which is a completely new dimension opening for trade initiatives between the north, from Scandinavia down to the Aegean Seas. Last but definitely not least, let me mention the central communication hub, which is by far the most expensive investment in Poland in the history of our country since 1989, using proven solutions from other countries, and in the context of NATO and in the context of PESCO initiative of the European Union. We believe that this project can be instrumental in delivering many Three Seas initiatives and strengthening the security dimension within our region. Now to digital. We definitely want our economic development to be based on innovative branches of economy, new and advanced technologies. Such developments help to avoid the middle income trap. The EU digital single market may be beneficial for all of us, but it is necessary to cooperate on the regional and local level. CEE should have an ambition to shake up global digital economy. And of course, cybersecurity here in this context, in particular in front of some hybrid war-type jeopardies coming from the East, is to be emphasized. And here we cooperate closely with several countries from Central Europe as well. So in summary, Three Seas is a grand strategy, a visionary one, However, a grand strategy makes only sense when it is combined with a sound economic calculation. It is our aim to merge visionary aims and pragmatic means. Business approach is a key feature of this 3Cs initiative. There is still a lot of untapped potential. It would be a sin not to take an advantage of it. The modernization of our economies requires enhanced and more ambitious cooperation in the region. Therefore, we decided to create a 3Cs initiative fund. We have shown that one of the fastest growing regions in the world can unite in pursuit of a more inclusive and economically sustainable European community. The more interconnected CEE powerhouse wants to be a vehicle for more interconnected EU. Innovations, research and development, cutting-edge technologies will be fully beneficial only in absorptive markets, those which are well integrated in terms of infrastructure and society. And only together we can overcome the challenges of redrawing the European infrastructure map. It will not be easy and shall require a very serious engagement of private capital, but this aim can be achieved. Rome was not built in one day, and the 3Cs initiative will not be. However, in few years, we can be more than proud of our achievements. I'm absolutely certain about this. The United States of America is standing with us. We have the will and commitment to make the European project stronger with our initiative. The 3Cs initiative proves that the transatlantic cooperation works splendid for the sake of a better world. And I'm emphasizing this because over the last couple of years, this transatlantic unity has been questioned by many, whereas most of the countries of the CEE and Poland in particular, we are strong believers in enhancing transatlantic community. Future is a choice, our choice. We have a grand strategy. Let's implement it together. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mateusz. I now invite Her Excellency Mrs. Dalia Grybauskaite, President of the Republic of Lithuania. Thank you very much.
President, I may start to talk about the